Well, here's kind of my end of the day update. The pad is probably, I don't know, 85–90% done. I need probably another 8-inch lift, maybe a little bit more in this corner, and it'll be up to the grade it's supposed to be, which is probably a foot low if you ask me. But we're meeting with the owner of the construction company tomorrow and the engineer that we kind of got in an argument with today he's coming down here tomorrow to look at this, because this stake right here, it says I need to cut 8 1/1000ths, so not even quite an inch, and that will be the top of the curb, and the curb is 13 inches tall, which, I mean, it's really only, I guess the curb part of it's maybe only 6 or 7 inches tall, and then you got the blacktop and such. But if you can tell, an inch below that stake is where the top of the curb is supposed to be. So over here, the top of the curb is going to be like 10 inches below the parking lot, which some of that's coming out to those parking spaces, and that's going to get redone. But you can tell the rest of the parking lot and actually the road is higher than everything right here. So it's a 3-foot difference from what their benchmark was to up here, and they told me it was only 18, but I checked it and rechecked it. So to me, there's no point. That'll be like the top of the curb 2 feet lower than that sidewalk and that edge of that building, which I guess I can see because this lot's going downhill, but then all the water is going to run down their drive-through. So I guess as long as they give them a canoe when they come through the drive-through, that should be able to work. But yeah, I mean, actually the top of the concrete floor, the finished floor grade, is still going to be 8 inches below that parking lot out there right now. So we're really going to need to probably build the clay up. I think the clay ought to go to almost what we've got cut out, and then they can build the building up. Even a foot higher than that parking lot is not going to be that much difference. So we'll see what they say. The superintendent, I think he kind of got annoyed with me today because I kept telling him, this isn't, I was like, there's no point. He kept wanting me to dig all this out another 2 feet. But I just told him that they need to talk to somebody else, because I don't know much about the commercial stuff and everything else, and I'm not an engineer, but I can tell you they don't want a 10-inch speed bump when they come out from getting their coffee. So that's just not gonna work. So good progress. I got it just filled up as much as I could, and I don't have a smooth roller to seal it off, so I just did the best I could with the loader and kind of tracked it in, and then just used the bucket to kind of slick it up. But it's a little wavy, but it still should kind of drain out here. We got some pretty good severe storms rolling in tonight with some strong winds and hail, so that's why I got the excavator and the roller, hoping the building kind of breaks it up, because it's going to be kind of coming from that direction. And I got the 2 loaders loaded up. I'm gonna put them back in the shop for tonight. So yeah, that's where we're at here. I didn't do a ton of filming today because it was very repetitive, so I just got like a long time lapse of putting the lift in, rolling it. Oh yeah, they actually did come do another compaction test, and I passed. There was one spot up in the middle, it went to 98. The center was 94.9. They need 95%, and then this corner over here was 96.2. So he was really happy with it. It's a little bit wet. He said it was like 3 to 4%, which I think 4 to 5 is as wet as they'll let it be, and actually pass the test. So we're right there on the edge. But today was one of the only days. I guess it rained over the night, but then this morning I got up to like 89 today. The humidity was like 96% this morning, and then we had sun and wind, so it kind of started drying out. But if we get any more rain, it'll take me another 2 days to get more clay. So I was trying to get as much clay in here as I could today, because they're pressuring me. They want to dig footings on this thing this coming Monday, so I'm trying to get this pad built for them as quick as I can with the weather and the compaction test and all that other stuff. It's yeah, kind of keeps it exciting, but we'll see what this weather does, and we'll just hopefully be back here tomorrow. after our little shower earlier this morning, I'm just kind of working on going back and trying to cut the grade of the parking lot down to where it needs to be to I'll start getting the subgrade built back up and then put the base rock, and then they can set the curves on there. I kind of did like what Skid Steer Drew was talking to me about. I dug down by that grade stake and got my level, and then I dug down by that one, which it still kind of has a little bit of a hump up right there, you can see. But then I just kind of dug across there, and I've just been kind of getting out and chucking it with the laser as I go. This is probably where that little, I don't know, 650 John Deere or D39 dozer would come in handy, but it's actually kind of working out because we're loading this and stuff in Dad's truck. We're hauling it to our shop, and we're putting it on some of the parking lot to kind of fix some of the potholes we got and different things like that, because it's, like I said, it's some weird stuff. It's like a mixture of gravel and asphalt milling, so it packs down extremely hard, but the grade is too high, and they still want us to cap it with like 6 to 8 inches of clay and then 6 inches of base rock. And they don't actually do like a compaction test like with their machine. They just let you proof roll. It's the only way. They said that with the numbers and the gravel and stuff, it, I guess, throws the numbers off in their machine, so you just have to proof roll everything. But he said from what he saw the other day with the trucks backing in with the clay, it wasn't even sinking or imprinting it or anything, so he said it would pass. I'm just trying to kind of get it cut down. I'm just using this, and then when I get close to it, I'll get the loader out and just try to do a little grading, and then we'll roll it and proof roll it before we bring any clay or any other kind of rock and stuff in here. So I thought about trying to use the loader and just start trying to kind of cut and push it, but it's working out pretty well here. I can take the grading bucket and kind of make my initial cut, and then when Dad shows up, I can load him with it, don't have to switch machines, and then just kind of carry on. I mean, I haven't been digging on this for very long. This grading bucket's almost the size of the bucket on my loader, so it's working, but like I said, I could see where like that little, like a little 20 or 25,000 pound, oops, I have abandoned water line, dozer with the 6-way blade would come in extremely handy here. I still have to use this to load it, but at least I could be pushing it down to the end of the parking lot, leave this there, and then just load it in the trucks. But we will make do with what we've got.